can be afraid of our own, but presently we are afraid of Nigeria because of the situation going on.
In his recent visit to the United States, Professor Yemi Osinbajo met with Nigerians in a town hall meeting to address some of the concerns expressed by diasporans around the world. NABN TV was present to cover this visit. The division amongst the major ethnic groups in the country cannot be overemphasized. What are the things that Nigerian citizens are complaining about? Are there merits to various claims of attacks all around the country? Is Boko Haram a thing of the past in Nigeria? Who are these armed herdsmen that we continue to hear so much about? Why and what is the genesis of this aggression that's been so widely reported? What is the government response to these security concerns? Ladies and gentlemen, I have with me in the studios Dr. Emmanuel Orji, welcome. Honorable Ugo Nwakoro, welcome. And Dr. Kazim Bello, welcome. Now, before we go into the main discussion today, I will want us to have an opportunity to preview some of the materials we recorded during the Vice President's visit. So if you bear with me, here are some of the previews.
I should be traveling home with my colleagues and children, but the question they are asking me is, how are you sure you are coming back? But presently, we are afraid of Nigeria because of the situation going on.
We have talked about security. I have 11 people who are visiting Nigeria from America. And one of the questions that people keep asking me, how are their security going to be guaranteed? As a matter of fact, one of them told me, please don't allow anybody to come because the country is not secured.
Now, on the issue of general insecurity prevailing in Nigeria, in many parts of Nigeria, somebody has already asked the question, does the government have a strategy of containing the situation? I know it is not easy for you to tell us everything you are doing, but to the extent possible, and to reassure potential investors that Nigeria is safe for investment and business. Could you please, Your Excellency, explain to us what the government is doing to bring the situation under control? Thank you.
So, issue of security is very important. We in the diaspora are aware of the insecurity situations in Nigeria. Is there anything Your Excellency think, that Nigerians in the diaspora, or an area I think Nigerians in the diaspora can be of some kind of help in beefing up security issues so that Nigeria could be safe?
The strength of our police around 371,800. And now, I want to travel back home. The king of my town called me that I should stay either in Lagos or Abuja. I just finished building a very big house in the village. It will be a disaster if I should travel and I didn't go to Ekiti to have a fresh pounded yam and bushmeat.
We'll talk about security. This new wave of issues on security came immediately after the elections, and there's always a connection between an election period, especially because many times politicians arm several of these individuals. And immediately after an election cycle, after people have been given arms and all of that, many of them, having nothing to do with arms all over the place, resort to the fastest way of making money, which is to abduct somebody and ask for a ransom.
God bless Nigeria. You see? Sir, they cannot even respond. But as an American, when you say God bless America, you hear thunderous. Amen.
Now, you've had an opportunity to listen to some of the questions and the concerns raised by the audience during the Vice President's visit. What's your observation during the visit?
Well, actually, let me tag in from what we just listened to about the lady talking about going to Nigeria and how risky it is, the family concerned that whether she's going to come back. It's actually true, because every time we make that trip to Nigeria, we are taking a very big risk. People used to think that it's just because you're coming from abroad. No, it's actually beyond that. Every time I go to Nigeria, I'm taking a risk. God forbid something happens by way of car accident, or I get sick, or something of that nature. Now I'm concerned about what hospital am I going to go to? How are they going to get me to that hospital because of the bad roads and all those things? So we are actually taking a risk, even though we are going to see our people. It shouldn't be that way. So that is one major concern. Every family has that. Before we used to take it for granted, oh, just go home, hey, relax, go home. No, it's beyond that. I've seen a family, I had a family 2 years ago from Philadelphia. The kids, every time they are on, video chat with their grandmother. They haven't seen this woman for a long time before, but they act like they know her. So the father decided to take the 4 kids to Nigeria to go see this grandmother that been yearning to see them. Guess what? Landed in Lagos, got on their car to Lagos. Along the way, they were going around the area. Trailer lost brake. All 4 kids plus their father all perished in Nigeria, all because they wanted to go see their grandmother. So it is a big, big problem that Nigeria must address, not just the insecurity, because I just talked about the health. The insecurity is also a concern. Every time you go home, people are looking at you like a target for kidnapping and all that. So there are so many issues that we worry about. So government needs to do that. Us in the diaspora, we're not asking for too much. We're just asking for the simple things. If we come to Nigeria, just a little security, power, good roads, and then every other thing will fall into place.
Okay, thank you very much. That's your concern. Dr. Kazim?
Yeah. The key issue that was really on top of top line discussion that day was security, of course. A lot of question was generated around security challenges in Nigeria. We won't go into details of that, but one thing that I've always been bothering me in Nigeria is that we haven't gotten government to sit down to look at economic loss to everything that we do than what we gain. When we talk of agriculture, we lose billions of naira and dollars than we gain from agriculture. We can't solve the problem. When we talk of power, we lose more money, human resources and capacity in not having power than we gain. Now we are moving to the realms of security. We are losing so much money, so much into external resources coming to the country. Nigerians cannot even travel. You can't move from city to city to travel, to trade. And then do you know how much that is we are losing? In fact, I don't know how much government is gathering statistics. The International War Peace that is based in Switzerland, and then the United States Peace Institute in DC was part of it. They had a conference last week in DC. It was not reflected on what the vice president was saying. Nigeria was quoted as losing $14 billion because of security challenges. That is a fact. $14 billion. How much is our budget? We are losing $14 billion to security challenges. Please, we should be looking at what are the challenges and how can we tackle it. If you are losing 14 billion, take $1 billion out of that and solve that problem, and then you will be okay.
Dr. Orji, you're a security expert. What is causing security issues that seem not to go away in Nigeria?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Moderator. And the consequences of insecurity can go beyond safety, personal safety, to the economy, like Dr. Kazim Bello has just mentioned. So we are looking at it as security of life and property. Government has not done enough to implement measures. There's no how we can solve insecurity problem in Nigeria by putting more policemen, more military people to go and quell uprisings. So I'm looking at it from the panaceas. There's nothing we can do that much to stop people from behaving badly. But through education, through mass public information, through taking certain measures, providing job and good living conditions for people, will discourage people from going into activities that put the lives and property of other members of the society in danger.
I'm glad, I don't mean to cut you off, that you're going into that, because I was looking for some specifics. I think there were a total of about 40 questions posed to the Vice President on the day of his visit. There was talks about unemployment, allegations of land encroachment. I believe some people spoke about that. There was kidnapping, there was ritual killings, religious unrests. I wanted us to talk about these concerns, specifically how that is affecting the people and what the Vice President's response was to those concerns.
Yeah, can I add something to that?
Yes, sir.
Security doesn't just happen in a vacuum. It takes planning, structure, law enforcement. The current Nigerian police is not structured to police Nigeria. That is a fact. A situation whereby you have almost 300 million people, and then you have a national police, that the Police Service Commission, for so many years, different police service commissions have said that Nigeria is under-policed. That majority or a lot of the policemen that we have in the police force are in individual hands. Then the few that you have to police Nigeria are not enough. But that is not even the problem. The problem is the national police. I'll give you a scenario. A situation whereby you have a Nigerian police that is recognized in one uniform all around the nation creates a problem by itself. Because a policeman that is fired or dismissed from Kafanchan can go to Abakaliki and set up shop and continues to act as a policeman. Nobody stops them. Even the Police Service Commission chairman then, Pario Sayande, even said it, that all these, the national police that is recognized everywhere is a huge, huge problem. So the Nigerian police by itself is also overwhelmed. So we need restructuring. I think state police would come. I'll give you an example where we are here in the United States. If a Newark police officer in a patrol car crosses the border from Newark into Irvington, he becomes a suspect. Everybody knows that, oh, he doesn't belong here. What is he doing here? They are looking at him. First, he has the wrong police vehicle that they know, the wrong police uniform. So we need restructuring. So you have a situation, police is a local affair. A situation whereby if you hear kidnapping in the east, the IG and his team prepare to go and tackle whatever that is happening in the east. They don't know the terrain, they don't know the people, they don't know what is going on. It's a local affair that you have officers that are there that will study the dynamics of the area and they know who is who. So the people will also contribute. So policing the way it is in Nigeria will never work unless we restructure. Start with a state police, and then you can go into state capital police, and gradually you get it into the local community level.
What do you think about that idea?
Yeah, the agitation for state police in Nigeria is nothing very new. We all know it has been in the topic for quite a while. And I don't know if any government in Nigeria have actually sat down to critically look at this issue and determine the way forward. We are all politicking with it. And obviously, the solution lies in decentralizing the Nigerian police. There's no doubt about it. Whether you call it local police, central police, or state police, the decentralization is very necessary for logistics, and we all know that. I mean, I'm not a security man, but we travel around. We know what it takes to police a country or citizen. But again, I want to, like the question the moderator posed the other time about looking at the impact of insecurity in the lives of average Nigerians. The worries that I have as an economic expert is that whether we like it or not, the largest single budget in Nigeria today is security, period. Where is all that money going to? The federal government budget to the military, Navy, Air Custom, because whether you like it or not, custom are police. They're supposed to police the border that is porous. Custom, and Nigerian police, the civil defense, all of them, plus the money that each state, every state, not single one state, spend less than 10% of its budget on security vote. Now, if you put that together, that is even more than what we spend on economic values. That is even more than enough to police Nigeria. But where is all that money going to? And then we have a situation we have in Nigeria now, It's really, really very bad. And the situation is really, really appalling. And so to say the least.
This is happening. Why is it occurring? Is it not stopping?
It's not stopping because the leadership is not leading by example. Good examples. Like Dr. Bello has just mentioned, the security vote given to governors, state governors. What they use this money for? Buy armored vehicles or bulletproof vehicles, acquire houses and build good mansions in their villages and stuff. Do they use it? We still have kidnappings, we still have bad roads, we still have bad economy. In those states where such huge amounts of money are supposed to be invested. So it is because, one, we lack an understanding. When I say we, I mean we as Nigerians, but I'm referring particularly to those in leadership, those in positions of authority. We lack a better or a good understanding, at least, of what it means to lead. The ethics of governance is lacking in our people. They lack the education, they lack the culture, and the environment make the whole thing a little bit worse. So the collateral effect of bad economic policy or bad implementation is what we are having. And we really have to go back to the drawing board and formulate policies that there's no one way to stop crime. It's not by force, matching force with force. It is by planning and working to change, to disabuse the minds of people, starting to teach certain principles of ethics, starting to use mass mobilization to tell people that this is right, because some of us have already formed our opinions and our character. So money comes for something of good to the public. People in authority will convert it to, that is just the problem. The votes for money to provide security are not used to ensure that people and property are secured in Nigeria. So it is a continuing something that will continue until something happens to change it. The Vice President's visit and the town hall simply highlighted the problems. And anyone who was there or in the press after the visit understand that there is much more that the government needs to do than what he explained to us.
Thank you. Just in one year.
Moderator, can I just add something? Just to be fair to the governors, there are some governors, it goes back to what I said about like decentralizing the police, giving security of the state to the state, whether it's by way of governor or whatever to handle. There are some governors that actually use this their security votes. But guess what? When they form a security apparatus to take care of the security in their state, they have conflict with the federal government that controls the police. Whether it's a police commissioner that would send his people to counter what the governor is doing. Because the governor is in a different party from the president or from whoever that is at the national authority. So that creates a problem. So it is an issue whereby we need a lot of overhauling of the system, restructuring, so that the states will control their security. Because here you have governor, he's supposed to be chief security officer, but then you have the state police commissioner, and if they are not in the same party, they continue to conflict. So that creates a huge problem. So we have to address that.
Dr. Bello, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, we've been talking about the problem and the symptoms and what we know could be the challenges that the government is facing. We will not be fair if we don't try to profess what we think could be a solution. I mean, there's no really an isolation of what kind of suggestion you can prefer, but I'm sure government must also be researching and spending money on researching what can be done to improve the situation, because no sensible government will see the situation going back home unfolding and not do something about it. But as a solution, time will not permit us here, but there are so many countries, we all travel around and we see what goes on around. And the world is a global village now. Even we live in the United States, and just like Honorable Hugo said, the system here works for them, and it is the system that most countries around the world model to structure their police security system. Even community, university, colleges, they have security, they have police, and they are well effective and police. But I want us to go back to Japan. And I mentioned Japan because when I was informed about this program, and one of the things I did was to do some of my little research on things like this. And we can begin to talk of countries we can model or emulate. But I took Japan because in Japan, in the whole of the country, in 1 year, they probably go for the statistics, they probably record 2 gunshots and 2 killings in a whole year in a country. That is a country where policing is effective. And what they have done, we can't go into details now, but I can tell you that what they've done in Japan is not to take out guns from people. It's not that they start taking one person, one police, but they worked they use technology, they use strategic system to police the system. And no, don't tell me Nigerians, Japanese are not more crooked than Nigerians. Human beings naturally want to commit crimes. But if they can only record 2 deaths, 2 gunshots in a whole year in the country, it means something is working from there. We can copy it.
Clearly. Let me thank you guys, for coming to the studios with us today. I know we can talk about this all day, all night. I do have some other guests that will come in to give their perspective on this issue of security in Nigeria. I want to thank you, Dr. Bello, for coming in. Honorable
thank you, sir.
Nwokoro, thank you for coming in. And Dr. Oji, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you again. See you soon.
NABN, New Africa Broadcasting Network.